Hey everyone, and welcome to Upcycled Adulting, where I am here to help you upcycle your real life into your best life by creating healthy habits, growing to accomplish your goals, and overcoming obstacles. Today, we're going to be talking about 9 super simple tips to create powerful routines inside your real life. Now, a lot of us are very, very familiar with routines and the benefits of them, particularly the benefits of the morning routine. I swear there is so much content written about morning routines and so many videos on Instagram. I could probably open it right now and find a sample morning routine. And you may have, like me, been trying to implement one of these routines into your life and found yourself struggling with it. And the reason for that is quite simple. Everyone has different needs and different things that will work for them in their morning or bedtime routines, in your end of workday routines, your start workday routines, your evening routines, etc. I have about 6 routines that I run on a daily basis, though a couple of them are a little modified for the weekends because I work from home and I don't do some of that work over the weekend. And so today I want to share my 9 best tips for creating routines that will work for you. Now, here's the thing about routines, they should make your life easier and they should simplify your life. So, a routine should actually not be problematic or creating chaos or making things harder for you. They should actually automate things, make things easier, make it easier to get some of your tasks done, and enhance your life so that you can live more intentionally by taking over some of the things that just need to get done and compartmentalizing them and making it really, really simple. And so, if you are currently having any problems with your routines where you feel like the routine itself is creating more stress or more overwhelm, things like that, I have to tell you that that is not what should be happening with routines. Definitely start applying some of these tips today to tweak those routines or consider giving up that routine altogether. Because just because a morning routine works for other people or highly successful people have blank morning routine doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. It should be making your life easier. So let's get started. Number one, we want to define our goals and our priorities. Why do we have this routine? What does this routine do in our lives to serve us? So whether that is the goal of the routine itself, this routine is going to simplify my cleaning process, it's going to make my morning go smoother, or it is a routine that you're creating specifically for a goal. You want to make sure that you're really clear on what your goals and priorities are and that your routine is serving that purpose. Number two is start small and build. You don't want to actually take on a whole entire routine from someone else and try to incorporate it into your life. It's better to add one small thing at a time. For example, if you are building a morning routine, start with what you already do in the morning and add one little thing to it. One of the big challenges that people have, especially with the morning routine, is trying to take on too much at once. Just because you saw that influencer say, I do all these things in the morning and now it's automated because it avoids decision fatigue and blah, blah, blah. And so it's easier to do your workout and it's easier to do your meditation and your gratitude and all of that in the morning, doesn't mean it will work for you. Meditation and gratitude do not work for me in the morning, but I found that out by starting small. As I was adding things into my routine, I was like, wow, this is a consistent hang up spot. Maybe this doesn't work for me here. Start really small. In addition to that, I want to give you the tip that your routine, especially if you're neurodivergent, should start with something really incredibly small. And it might be something you're not even counting yet. My morning routine, for example, just starts with getting out of bed. The reason why we want to start a routine with something super, super small is to prevent ourselves from getting overwhelmed and skipping the routine altogether. There's a good chance if you just can do that first thing, you will knock out the whole routine, just like tipping over dominoes. So start with a really small thing up front. Convince yourself you only need to do that one little tiny thing. And then the likelihood is, as you build momentum, you'll more easily be able to do the rest of the routine. Number three is establish a schedule. Figure out what works for you and create a schedule around a routine. When do you do it? How do you do it? What comes first, second, third? Things like that. Make sure that you really have your routine incorporated into your schedule. Now, I don't necessarily mean time wise incorporated into your schedule. It could be that you establish a schedule with your routine where you have it stacked on top of something you already do. For example, I have a dinner time routine, and that routine starts with eating dinner. And then after I eat dinner, I clean up my kitchen, I set up the coffee maker for the next day, and I water my plants. I know. And that's my evening routine that I do. It starts off with dinner. Dinner is super simple. I'm going to do that no matter what. So that's my little small piece. And I have established the schedule that in that same time, right after I eat my dinner, clean the kitchen, set up the coffee, water the plants. And that way I have established a schedule, but that schedule is not attached to a time. I don't eat dinner at the exact same time every night. But I do get those things done when I eat dinner. Number four is be flexible. Understand that your routine is potentially going to change in different seasons of your life or because something else is going on. If you have a sick kid at home, if you have a big project at work, if you have a house guest, if you're traveling, things happen that will get in the way of our typical routines, and that's okay. Be expecting that. I had a client at one time who had a minimized morning routine for when she had house guests and when she traveled. And so what she did is she found that having her big morning routine was really, really hard when there were other people in her home or when she was out of town. So she created a bare bones morning routine and she was flexible about when she would use that routine versus her lengthened morning routine. And that helped her feel successful about sticking to her morning routine, even when her life was demanding that she couldn't necessarily do the whole thing. I highly recommend that to everyone. Number five is set realistic expectations. Get really clear about what you expect from yourself and what you expect from your routine. Your routine is not magically going to change your life. It's not always going to be super, super simple, but your routine should be making your life easier. Don't be expecting yourself to spend 2 hours on a morning routine if you know you're not a morning person and you know that you have to be to work at 7 a.m. What we want to do is get realistic about where do these routines fit in our life and what can really be done inside them. If you have small children, you may have differences in your routine because of that. If you are traveling, which I've already given that example, if you know that you're a night owl, things like this can really impact your routines. So, being realistic, setting realistic expectations about how you're going to do this will really help you feel successful with your routines. Number six is to track your progress. Understanding what's working for you and what's not, being aware of your wins and your successes can really help you and can help you stick to a routine that's new because anything that's new can be difficult to remember and difficult to stick to. Number seven is find accountability and support. Being able to reach out to other people, find out what's worked for them, get some ideas. I was just talking about this in a live in my Facebook group, which, by the way, is a great place for accountability and support. And I was talking about my nighttime routine and how I always start my dishwasher at night and empty it in the morning. That's part of my bedtime and morning routines. Because it makes it easier for me to keep up with my home. And then several people said they don't have dishwashers. And I was like, this is the perfect reason to have accountability and support because it can really help you modify or say, I want to have a routine that includes addressing my dishes so that my house is tidy when I wake up in the morning, but I don't have a dishwasher. What are your suggestions? And so you can get a lot of great feedback and ideas, kind of crowdsource some of your challenges. But you can also share your wins. And in the right community, you can get support so that you remember to give yourself grace and be flexible about your routines rather than feeling like you're being judged. And it can keep you from going into that shame spiral. Check out my Facebook community. It's a great place to find to find accountability and support, to keep you on track and to keep you feeling really, really amazing about your routines and habits. Number 8 is to incorporate self-care. I think it's so incredibly important that in our routines, we incorporate something that we enjoy. That doesn't necessarily mean taking a bath every single night in our bedtime routine, but incorporating self care into your routine or something that you enjoy or something that you like, pairing your routine with something that you look forward to can really help you stick with your routines. I like to watch old TV shows on my computer while I am doing some of my routines because I find it really enjoyable. It gives me something to look forward to. I wouldn't normally be binging something like Desperate Housewives or Gilmore Girls, but I like having it on while I'm doing a different routine. It feels like a little pampering or a little self care. In addition, I have incorporated some nice skincare products in my bedtime routine, things like that really help you to stay on track and to continue to feel really good about what you're doing. Number 9 is to review and adjust. Now, if again you have the Routinely app, you'll find statistics that will help you to do this. When we create our routines, sometimes we find that certain things just don't work within our rhythm at certain times of day. Rather than being angry with yourself, rather than feeling like you need more self discipline or being ashamed, it works much better to review what's happening and make adjustments. Now, this is one of the best reasons for starting small and building in your routine because it allows you to have a more scientific approach about what's working and what's not, right? If you just added your workout to your morning routine and you're finding it really difficult to get to it, you've been doing it for a couple weeks and you're really struggling, it might just be that your workout doesn't belong in your morning routine. It doesn't mean that you can't do a workout. Forcing yourself to do it isn't going to work. It might be more automatic and work better at a different time of day. Now, if you have taken on a morning routine that has 5 new things in it, it'll be really hard to tell what's actually creating the hang up. What we want to do is be able to look at our routine and give ourselves grace. Assume that you're doing the best. I will tell you, some of you need that affirmation in your day every day. I am doing my best. Assume that you're doing your best and get curious about what adjustments you could make to help you be more successful with your routine. Maybe you need to start with something a little smaller. Maybe it would work better at a different time of day. Maybe you're not being flexible enough. Maybe this isn't going to be a daily part of your routine, but you're going to do it once a week, right? Understanding what it is that works best in your life is going to help you be more consistent with your routines. Now, don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to be talking about how to create consistency with routines and habits in my next video. These 9 simple steps will make it so much easier for you to create routines in your life. But again, I want you to remember the golden rule. Routines should always be making your life easier. They should always be helping you simplify things. Routines should never, never be creating more stress, more chaos, or more struggle. You have them for the purpose of automating things, making things more simplified. So if your routines are actually causing stress or overwhelm, it's time to either ditch the routine or make that adjustment to make it go better and smoother and fit your life more easily. No matter what anybody says, your routines should be serving you. You are absolutely amazing and you deserve the life that you have been dreaming about. I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.